Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today we are working on a new stitch. I actually don't know what this is called. I think it's called the fleur-de-lis. And you can see the little flowers, the design here. But if you know the name of it, just put it in the comment section. And I can update the name, but I think it's called the fleur-de-lis. And we did something like this. It's basically, it's almost like the feather stitch, but we use that and create rows, so you can make beautiful wraps and blankets and pillowcases and table runners, whatever you want. But this works up so it's not a triangle or anything, so it's something that you can work into a square or a rectangle and just go with it. So I will show you the basics of it. It looks really complicated, but it isn't. So it's beginner friendly, as long as you can do the feather stitch. And I show you how to do the feather stitch in a different tutorial, and I can link to that below, or you can find it. I'm sure there are many great tutorials online for it, so whatever you're happy with. So yeah, we're going to do that. If you are kind of a beginner and you just want to practice just to get the feel of it, I would recommend using a type of yarn that has a little bit of give and stretch to it. So if it has nylon or maybe acrylic or something that has a little bit of stretch, so that you're not kind of struggling with this feather stitch. But you know, work at your own pace and whatever is comfortable for you. So I'm just going to use some silk and merino here, just because it's here. And also I think the color should be easy enough for you to see the stitches properly, hopefully. So just take whatever hook size is appropriate for your yarn. I'm going to use a 4 here for this one. And you'll need scissors just to you know, finish off your work. And that's it. You don't need anything else. Oh, before I start, look at this. I am creating new colorways for my shop, and look at this cool figure. He's part of Queen Sheba's entourage, and he's got this gorgeous purple and blue tights and a tunic. And I'm going to be making fluorescent colors, just to introduce some fluorescence into the shop, and also some pastels. So keep an eye out for those soon. And if you're seeing this in the future, check out the shop. They're already there. And if you like these tutorials, or if you find them useful, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want, and if not, that's okay too. Okay, let's get to it. So to start, just grab your yarn, and we're going to start with a foundation row. And this foundation row, so for any project that you're doing, to get this look, you're going to be working in multiples of 6. So if you're good at math, you know, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, so on. So multiples of 6 and plus 7, and that's your foundation row. Okay, so it'll be multiples of 6 and then plus 7 on the end, and that will give you the number that you need. So if you're working on a large blanket, you know, 6 times whatever huge number, like, you know, 6 times 100, 600, and then add 7 on the end. Okay, so we are going to start with just a size that's easy enough to work up something quickly as a practice, just a template. So we're going to start with 24. So just in case you didn't see, I start with a slip knot, just like that. And look, my hands are actually clean today. There's no dye on them. I did this just for you. I scrubbed them. Yay! Because I wasn't ready today. So, I mean, I was. I did this just for you. Okay, so we got our slip knot. Now you're going to chain 24. So that's 6 times 4 for all you math lovers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is very silky, so it's slipping out. 21, 22, 23, 24. So remember what I said at the beginning. You've got your multiple of 6, and then we have to add 7 on the end. So you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're going to start with row number 1. So that was your foundation chain. So row number 1, we're going to start into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to do a double crochet. And so every row you'll see will have a chain 3. So this is kind of like a chain 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then we've done a second one here. We're going to do 3 more into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So that altogether gives us 5 double crochets. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way across, but before we do that, you chain 1 and you will skip this next stitch here. So into the next stitch you will do a double crochet, and then into the next 4 stitches you do a double crochet, 1 in each stitch. So that again gives you 5 more double crochets. Then chain 1. So let's just finish these. That's 3, 4, and 5, and then chain 1. You skip this space here, or this stitch, and then into the next one you do another 5 double crochets. So if you continue that all the way across, so it's 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then 5 more, and keep going till you get to the end, and you will end on a 5th, your final double crochet. Okay, so this is what your work will look something like. So we're going to do row number 2 now. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then turn your work. And we're going to skip this first stitch here always, because this counts as your first double crochet. So the pattern for this one is actually going to be, so we did 5, we're going to decrease and start doing 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. It will all make sense. So skip this into the next one, do a double crochet, so into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch do a double crochet, just like that. Now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip this stitch here, and into this one you do a double crochet, and then into this space you do a double crochet, and then into the next on top of the next post you do a double crochet, then chain 1, then skip this stitch here, and then into on the top of this post you do a double crochet, chain 1, skip this one, and into the next one you do a double crochet, and you do a double crochet into this space, and beside it into the next post you do a double crochet. So if you notice here, once it's in focus, we've got, so this is just your border, so don't worry about that. Pattern is 3, skip 1, 1, skip 1, 3, skip 1, 1, skip 1, 3. So that's how the pattern will go all the way across. So we'll just continue with that. We'll continue with you. So chain 1, skip this stitch, go into the next one with a double crochet, chain 1, skip this one, go into the next one with a double crochet, then double crochet into the chain space, and then double crochet into the next post, then chain 1, skip this, go into the next one with a double crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into this one with a double crochet, then double crochet into this chain space, then double crochet into this next post, the stitch, then chain 1. We're almost done, so you skip this one, go into this stitch here and do a double crochet, do a double crochet beside it, and then there's a chain 3 from below this one here, go into the top of that with a double crochet, and that is the end of row 2. So that's what you're creating, a little grid here to create your flowers, your fleur-de-lis. So for row 3 we are going to chain 4, turn your work, and then we're going to skip this space here, we're going to skip this one, and we're going to do a double crochet into that. And then you're going to chain 1, you're going to skip this space and do a double crochet into the top of this post. Then you're going to chain 1, skip this one, and do a double crochet on top of the post, chain 1, skip this space, do a double crochet on top of this post. So it's basically just skip 1, double crochet, and you're working into, if you can see that, into the post. So you'll see, always skip the spaces in between, and that will give you your grid. So keep going. So chain 1 into this post, chain one, skip that space, and then on top of this post, chain one into the top of this post, chain one, double crochet into the top of this post, chain one into the top of this post, chain one, top of this, chain one. So you're just kind of leapfrogging along this, and that will get you to the very end where you do a chain one, and then into the top of this is where you do a double crochet on top of that chain three from the previous row, and that is row 3 done. So now we're going to get to the feather stitch stage. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is row 4, and this is all you need for the pattern. It's only 4 rows. So this counts as your first double crochet. Then into this space here, you're going to do a double crochet, and then beside it into this post, you're going to do a double crochet. Okay, and now we are going to, if you look at your work, you'll see these squares, these spaces, these gaps. So you're going to be working into this and then drop down and then work up again. So 1, 2, 3, and then keep going. So I'll show you what to do with the feather stitch now. So make sure that your work is nice and loose as well, not too loose, but I'll show you. Don't work too tight with your hook. So let's chain 2 first, and then into this space here, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times. So 1, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2, yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times. Now you're going to yarn over again, and you're going to drop all the way down to this spot here. And you're going to, so if it folds up, if your work folds up, that's fine. But make sure it's not too tight. Pull it up nice and loose. 1. So you do that 3 times as well. 2, yarn over, 3, and then you're going to jump over and you're going to work into this space here. So there will be one here, a hole kind of behind. You don't want to work into that one. So you're working into this here. So just do yarn over and do 3 more. Yarn over again, 2, yarn over again, 3. So you have all of these loops on your hook. Yarn over one last time, and this is important part. This is why you don't want it too tight, so that you can pull through all of those and pull through the last one as well. So you're pulling through everything just like that, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through that loop just like that, and that is your first fleur-de-lis. So then you are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then into this post here you're going to do a double crochet, and then chain 2, and then we're going to repeat what we did here. We're going to repeat that here again. So we'll start with yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times, yarn over, 2, 3, then drop down to this bottom one. So yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over again and go into the side one here on the left. 1, 2, 3. Then yarn over and pull through all of those, and your last one as well, and then yarn over and pull through just like that to lock it into place. And so that's your second fleur-de-lis done. You're going to chain 2 and then double crochet into the top of this post. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2 again and then do it all over again. So into this space here, we're pulling up 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, then we yarn over, drop down to this square here and pull up, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull up, and then we into this space here, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all of those, and then lock it into place. Chain 2 and then double crochet into that top space. Whoop. And then chain 2 again, and then we will do one more of these fleur-de-lis. So you do your yarn over and pull-ups, your yarn exercises. I'm doing pull-ups today. 1, 2, 3, and then yarn over and pull through all of those, just like that. Lock it into place. Chain 2. Then you do a double crochet into the top of this double crochet post from below, and then into this space you do a double crochet, and then you kind of pull this, you can pull and tug at this chain 4 you've made. You do a double crochet into the top of this chain 4 space, and that is the first row of fleur-de-lis done. So that all you're doing now is dropping back down to row number 1 and building it up again. So I'll show you how to do that. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is basically row 1 again, but row 5 if you want to count it that way. So we have our first double crochet here, and we're going to do into the second one here a double crochet, and into the third post a double crochet. Now into this space here you do a double crochet, and then into the middle, so into the middle of this flower you're going to do a double crochet. Okay, so that gives you 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you chain 1, and into that same space you do another double crochet. So you've created a V stitch here. So double crochet, chain 1, and this counts as your like we did 5, chain 1 space here. So this is 5 here, chain 1, and then you're starting again. So 1, then you do second one into this space here, 2, now into the top of this post from below you do your third, and then into this space here you do a fourth, and then we're back into this, the hole of the flower, you do a fifth double crochet, then you chain one, and into that same space you do another double crochet. So you're starting over again. So that's one into this space here, two on the top of this post, three into this space here, four, back into this hole again, five, chain one into that same space, another double crochet, into this space, double crochet, on the top of this post, double crochet, into this space, double crochet, into the hole, you do a double crochet, then chain one, then another double crochet into that space, then into this space here, a double crochet, and then into the next three, you do a double crochet in each one. So that gives you your 5 chain one, skip stitch 5 pattern again, and that is row number 1 done again. So that's that one. So now we're going to do the next row here. So that's chain 3 again. Turn your work. Now skip this stitch and go into the next one, and you do a double crochet, and then into the next one do a double crochet, now we're going to chain 1 and then skip this stitch and then go into this one, which is the top. This is your V stitch here. So into the top of that V stitch you do a double crochet, you do a double crochet into the middle, and then a double crochet to the top of the other side of the V. So you'll have 3 again. Then chain 1, skip this stitch, into this stitch you do 1 double crochet, chain 1, then skip this stitch, and into the next one, which is actually your V again, you're doing a double crochet, do 1 into the middle of that V, and then into the left side of that V. So you have 3 again. Chain 1, skip this stitch, into this stitch you do a double crochet, chain 1, skip this, and into the V you do a double crochet into the space, V stitch space. Whoop, jumped over that. Into this V stitch space you do another double crochet, and then you do a double crochet into the left side of the V, then chain 1, skip this stitch, do a double crochet into this one, that's the next one, chain 1, skip this stitch, you're back at the V, so just do the same thing. So it's 3 double crochets in a row, then chain 1, then skip this stitch and go into this one with a double crochet, do another double crochet beside it, and do a double crochet into the top of your chain 3 from the previous row. So that is row 2 done, or row 6 if you're counting that way. So we've got the pattern here for that. And so we've got one more row to do before we get back to the feather stitch. So this is row 3 again, so we chain 4 this time. Turn your work. Then we are going to skip this stitch, we're going to skip this stitch, and then we'll do a double crochet into this stitch here. Then we're going to chain 1. I'm going to skip this stitch and do a double crochet into this, the top of this post. Then chain 1, skip this middle stitch, do a double crochet into the end post, chain 1, do a double crochet into the top of the post, chain 1, do a double crochet into the top of first post, chain 1, skip this, do a double crochet into the last post. So keep going along that way, doing chain 1, skip stitch, double crochet all the way across. And that will lead us to the row with the feather stitch again. And so do a double crochet into the top of the chain 3 from below, just like that. Okay, so that's under here. So we're going to do the fleur-de-lis again, chain 1. This is row 4 or row 8, depending on what or how you're counting. So I am just going to show you this one last time and then you're on your way. So we're going to do a double crochet into this space here, and then another double crochet into this post, just to have sort of an even border thing on the side, like that. Then you're going to chain 2, and then into this next space here, you're going to do your yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times, just like that. And then you're going to find your fleur-de-lis here, and just above it is the other hole. So if you look for the center of this one, you don't put it into the center of the previous flower, but just above it there's a V, and this is where you will put your hook and pull up a loop. And then beside, to the left, 3, and then yarn over and pull through all of those, and then seal it into place. Chain 2, put a double crochet into this post, chain 2, and then start again. So yarn over 3 times, yarn over and pull up a loop 3 times, then yarn over, drop down just above where this hole is, so find that V again, and then to the left the same way, 2, 3, and then pull through all of those, like that, seal it into place, and chain 2, double crochet into that post, chain 2, and then do it all again. And so you do that all the way across the length of your project. And then when you're done that, you just start again with row number 1. It is that simple. So I've got one more flower to do, or fleur de lis. Just like that. And I'll lock it into place, chain 2, and we'll do a double crochet into this space, or the top of this post. Then I will do a double crochet beside it, and then I'll do a double crochet, just kind of pull this and do a double crochet into the top of this chain 4 from below. And that is basically how you do the fleur de lis stitch for a rectangle or square project. Now this is also, you could do this and make a nice cowl for your neck too. You can do so many things with this. So yeah, it's a nice little pattern that looks more complicated than it is. You can trick everybody and pretend that you've spent ages and ages on this, but it doesn't take very long at all, and it looks so elegant and pretty. So continue along. If you just need chain 3, turn your work, and then skip this stitch here and do 5. So you go 1 to the next post, 2, and then into this space here, 3. So that actually gives you 4, because remember, this one counts. And then you're already into the middle here, so we do our 5th one, chain 1, and then another double crochet into that space there, so you have another V, and then continue. So double crochet into the space beside it, double crochet into the post, double crochet into the space beside that, and you're back into the next hole here. So double crochet, then chain 1, double crochet. So that will keep you going. That was row number 1 again, just continuing for you, just so that you know. And then yeah, that's all there is to it. You've got it. You've got the basics. Make beautiful things with this. Take care of yourselves. You're on your way. Happy crocheting. We'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.